We are live. This is the market update. This is the get ready before explosion market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. What do I do? What do I get involved in? When do I do it? Okay, the when do I do it is right now. Right now. Now. Okay, because this market is about to do things that we haven't seen since 2017. I have said repeatedly that one of the issues with this market is that the range warped everyone's trend following brain. And if you have a situation where you essentially have all buyers, this means Uncle Sugar, corporations, MicroStrategy, retail, and I can't wait to tell you about a conversation that I had with like small portfolio managers, small, like guys that have like, say, $1 billion under management at maybe like a registered investment advisory firm. I'll talk more about that. Now, listen to me. I have a YouTube member area. We have videos across sectors, small cap, large cap. The description is down below. The QR code is here. That whole section, last night we did like a live TA on a lot of the coins in the portfolios, as well as showing them on Banter Bubbles. You need to get involved. It's all there waiting for you. You can consume it on the stream, or you can watch the individual sector videos. All right. Number 2, in Patreon, I have a podcast and a HODL portfolio for members, right? And I also put it in the Patreon store if you're allergic to the monthly membership. So everybody in our community is locked and loaded. Keep in mind, there is a chat function inside the Patreon. That's our middle offering. Even if you can't do any of that, if all you could do is listen and hit the like button, all right, I am going to get you ready. I am going to explain to you why this thing is going to absolutely, like, it's going to erupt. And I'm more confident about this than I was yesterday, right? Because ETH and Solana are now involved. Altcoins are awake. And if you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana leading this market, it can't be stopped. And things could get wild. Things are already getting wild with some of the coins that we're talking about moving like 20 and 30%. These are some of the coins we talked about last night. Like whatever is hot is about to get hotter. Okay, so if you want to hear the story about the investment advisors, you want to see this unbelievable news flow about the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and then some of these charts I've got on total market cap really highlighting what can happen, 1, and 2, how fast can it happen? The answer to that is like 36 hours or a week. Said differently, if you were in the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF universe, if you were in equities and you knew that the crypto bros were going to moon this market over the weekend, what do you got? You got a Fed rate cut. You got 40 minutes left in today in the ETF and all day tomorrow before the crypto bros go wild over the weekend and you're paying 10% higher for all your crypto ETF products on Monday. There is a lot of people who are going to need to get through the door at the same time. And, oh, by the way, there's no seller. Remember the sovereign in Europe that sold all their Bitcoin at 54K? Not such a good idea. Most likely that was Uncle Sugar that put him up to it. This thing could just go. And if you have to close your eyes and do something, even if it's Bitcoin or ETH, there's no harm in that. It's not investment advice. It's psychological advice at this point. Members on that QR code, they are ready. They are ready, and there's time to get ready, and there's time to get on this move because it's going to be absolutely epic. So please don't go anywhere. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works for you, please hit the like button, right? Please hit the like button. Okay, as you know, Jerome Powell cut interest rates today. Good for him, because he'd be hearing from Donald Trump for like 2 months if he didn't. Okay, so let's welcome the members. Today's Tech Bites, hammering away with those member emojis. You know, folks, it's all about the green button. I've been talking about the green button for 7 months. John Ryan is here, a member for 2 months. Thank you. Bob Marsh, Jessica, Yoppy the Water Guy, Joe Mike, Ron. Hello. Welcome. Dietz is here. Hello. A new member. Right? Renee, Art. Gaiman is here. Quiet Don from Patreon. Welcome. Bull Runner in the house. Hello. Hello. All right. Welcoming all those people who are also watching on Twitter. Also watching everybody who's watching on Twitter news. Let's go. Okay. So these are all the districts in the United States broken down by county that voted red. That's a lot of people. You know, you have a lot of votes on the coast, but things are looking pretty good for pro-Bitcoin, because a lot of the congressmen that come from these areas are going to be pro-Bitcoin. And in America, everybody loves a good fireworks show. And the fireworks show is in crypto. Crypto. Okay. RFKJ, my guy, is already working on making you healthy again. 2 days in. Think these guys are playing around? I have said this over and over again. They're not. Now, if you want to talk about unity, because I saw somebody in the chat that would have preferred somebody else win. Okay, Bernie Sanders, who used to be the scary socialist guy, is now going, you know what? I think the people I'm associated with may have screwed up. And how much you want to bet that Bernie is the next guy on Joe Rogan moving on over to the Justice League? Because Bernie's current group wasn't exactly nice to him over the years. Watch what happens if this whole Unity, Justice League, Avengers, X-Men thing starts to gain momentum, particularly as it relates to Bitcoin. Now, Bernie isn't going to be a Bitcoin guy, but can you imagine everybody down there in DC on the same page? Wow. Right? Especially with the strategic Bitcoin reserve on the table. Okay, so the Fed cuts interest rates. Thank you. All right. They didn't feel like listening to Donald Trump for 2 months, telling them that, you know, they're pea-brained, right? First they let inflation get out of control. Then they over-tightened, freaked everybody out, caused zero job creations. Now they're probably just going to do what they have to do and hang out. They've done their thing. They have signaled to the market that they're no longer trying to choke everything off. That's the most important thing. That's the delayed response we're seeing in Bitcoin, right? We're seeing right now Bitcoin tick up, you know, an hour after the Fed gets done talking. Why? Because the door is wide open. The barn door is wide open, and the horse can just run. No more range. No more, oh, it's a new all-time high for the 4th time in 2 days. People, this thing's going to be making a new all-time high every 20 minutes. I mean, 80K seems programmed in. You know, you're going to want to see the chart, so don't go anywhere. And I think something much more violent on the upside, that's not a good word, I know, but something much more aggressive can transpire here. Much more. In other words, I know there's probably not a lot of people in crypto who saw 2017. And when I saw 2017, I was brand new and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I mean, that really was the banana. It was just from 5K to 20K. There was one final dip in November and then it was gone. The same thing is about to happen here on the heels of a Fed rate cut. Okay. So the Fed, as we know, is not going to be the same, right? They might keep the plunge protection team, but this incessant printing is going to end, or they're going to transition the Fed into a pure bank rescue organization, at which case it will still have a job. But I don't think the Fed is ever going to be in a situation where they can, like, turn down a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Okay? A strategic Bitcoin. Look at this. This is so funny. Okay. Breaking news. After a long summit with the BRICS group, President Putin has said he's not abandoning the dollar. Yeah, man. You're going to make the orange man happy so that the orange man doesn't look at you and tweet about you. He doesn't have to do anything except tweet about you and have Elon retweet it. Seriously. SEC seeks to dismiss Kraken's key defenses. Listen, these guys are going to get completely overhauled. And you know what? That is actually starting to get priced in. It is. Okay. Speaking of that, the latest SEC guy isn't going to be Crypto Mom, which I can't believe. I think it's a dude that broke ranks inside the SEC back in October by saying, what we've done here is a disaster for the whole crypto industry, right here. It's been an absolute disaster. So this is the guy next in line. Now, a word on this. The most important thing with whoever is in charge of the SEC isn't what he says about crypto now. It's whether or not he reports to the administration or whether he reports to Jamie Dimon, right? In other words, this whole idea about regulatory capture, like RFK is already out the door, already running with the whole food thing. And I hope they listen to him all the way around on the transition team about what these guys are supposed to do. They're supposed to prevent FTX, not innovation. And as Elon said the other day, America is a nation of builders. And as soon as he said that, ETH woke up, right? Because you build on ETH for institutions, right? All these DeFi coins that we have in the member area, right? The core positions, right? The small cap, the mid cap DeFi plays are just exploding. Current crypto infrastructure is not priced, and I don't even think it can handle the amount of volume that can come in from institutions. Because as I've said before, there's FOMO. You think FOMO is you and the guys at the barbershop piling into the market. No, that's not FOMO. FOMO is when every macro hedge fund and every investment bank has to pour in by the end of the year. That is FOMO. And if you have regulatory clarity, in other words, these guys are just like, get out of our way, some tremendous things can happen. ETH surges 7%. ETH was dead. All the money was leaving ETH. You remember all that last week? Those giant histogram bars. All the money's leaving ETH. Everyone's exiting. It's only Solana. Couldn't even talk about it. Yeah, I just couldn't even talk about it. Like, I couldn't talk about it. The guy who never shuts up couldn't talk about it. And that's when I kind of knew. I kind of knew that the day it ever woke up, like, when was the last time you saw Bitcoin and Ethereum leading the entire market? Like, can you imagine Bitcoin and Ethereum up 15% in one day? I can. Everyone's like, well, boy, that thing on November 5th, boy, that was the God candle. No, people, that was not the God candle. The God candle is something where Bitcoin blows through 80 and ETH blows through 3,000 in one day. In one day. Why? Because it hasn't done anything in 7 months or in a year or more. We'll go through the ETH charts. I mean, people do not understand what can go on here if the equity market people start going after the Ethereum ETF. They just have no idea. And then there's this strategic Bitcoin reserve thing happening today. Okay, 600 million inflows. Okay, and then Cathy's involved now. So now we have Michael Saylor, we have BlackRock, and now we have Cathy. Cathy never met something that was up that she didn't like, right? Seriously, she never met something that was up that she didn't like. She's just a momentum investor. It's up, buy it. The only thing I ever saw her buy when it was down was Tesla, and that's working out quite well for her. Okay, she left Coinbase's stock to buy more Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETFs. I don't know if they still have it, but they're going to FOMO in, and she wanted the Solana ETF, and she may get it. Can you imagine? Because I know they're going to get after this ETH ETF something fierce. Okay, ARK Investments joins call for strategic Bitcoin reserves. Give Cynthia Lumis, who is about to become, is probably already on her way to becoming famous. I wish they would pull Crypto Mom out so she could take a bow as well. Matter of fact, I think she could wind up Treasury Secretary. Can you imagine Crypto Mom as Treasury Secretary? Hey, man, another cup of Kool-Aid for me, Okay, so we're at 76,000. Yeah. You know what, folks? You worry about taking profits when it gets to 176,000. Because you know what? This could get totally ridiculous. Just keep in mind, you have all this volume in a confined space. One day I'm going to dig up the chart book and show you, but I don't think I'm going to have to. This market's going to demonstrate it real time. Okay, Dylan LeClaire puts it perfectly. He says, it feels like people don't yet understand what a red sweep means for Bitcoin, right? This is a Bitcoin law. This is something that they've already proposed. They don't have to write it. They already wrote it. They just have to pass it, right? And if you're wondering, is there a political mandate in the United States? I would say yes. Yes, right? I mean, it's absolutely going to happen. Probably going to get in trouble here, but Robert Kennedy just tweeted, anybody seen a certain doctor whose last name begins with an F? I'm looking for him. It's like, you think these guys are playing around? That's the thing that's unbelievable. Like the Department of Government Efficiency, like cutting spending. I guess you thought Elon Musk was kidding, right? He's not. They're not kidding about this. They're doing it. They are absolutely doing it. Germany sold all their Bitcoin at 54K. That would have been $1 billion worth of profit that they missed out on. I'm actually sorry for them. The Orange Man wants to set up a World's Fair for America's 250th anniversary. Again, do you think these guys are playing around about all things American? Business, building, innovation, entrepreneurship, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, right? How does Gen Z pull itself up by its bootstrap? I've had every single person who has seen me filming in public stops me and asks me about crypto. We'll get to that story. I know there's people that will explode if I don't do the PowerPoint. I will get to that, but you do want to hear the story about the registered investment advisors, because this guy just sat there with this look on his face. And I'm like, bro, it's happening. Okay. I don't know if this is happening, but you know what? This is an instance where pictures like this could be appropriate, because people need to understand what can go on here. Like I've seen all of Wall Street need to go in one direction at the same time. Like as in need to, as in if I don't do it, I'll be stupid, fired, or both. Nobody is going to want to be left behind, and everybody is caught off guard here. The only people who seem to be building, like I know Novogratz at Galaxy Digital was building, and I know BlackRock was building, but that range lulled everybody to sleep. It lulled everybody to sleep, and then, somebody was trying to suppress it. There was undoubtedly a seller inside the range. Probably Uncle Sugar or whoever. Those people are going to buy all that stuff back at 150. And don't think this thing can't move, because a lot of people think ETH can't move, right? I mean, when ETH moves historically, it's vertical. ETH either goes sideways and does nothing, and when ETH goes, it just goes, right? And most people haven't seen that. A lot of people in the market that have been onboarded through Solana, they don't have to fall in love with Ethereum, but they have to realize that, if you have memes like GigaChag, Mog, all these like small cap hot things that are no longer small cap hot things, this thing could just go. The whole ecosystem, the signals are there. Like, I have to buy it before the government buys it. The speculative fire is out there. The whole ecosystem is underpriced relative to equities. Don't tell me we don't need a new version of the internet. Now it's kind of more like, it used to be we need a new version of the internet. Now it's we want a new version of the internet, right? We want Web3. We want new stuff. We want new companies. We want new jobs. You know what I'm saying? Okay, retail is now in. Fidelity buys 308 million of the Bitcoin ETF. So, 401ks, IRAs, people are just pushing the button, right? It's like, oh, how do I get involved in this? Oh, it's in my IRA. Oh, okay. Let me just push the button. Do you know how many people are just going to push the button? They're going to see the Bitcoin ETF at like $38 a share. Do you think they care about where Bitcoin is? Like, oh, it's at 75. Oh, I'm going to buy it at the point of control at 68. No, people. This is a bunch of legacy guys in their bathrobe reading the newspaper going, oh, okay. Here, honey, take the iPad. You do yours too. That's what's good. That is happening right now. Coinbase Premium flips positive. If anybody got the green button emoji, if like all the members could hit the green button emoji all at the same time, like just like in a row, so everybody could see that if you get the $4.99 membership, you get a priority on comments. It's just this ridiculously fun emoji. It's unbelievable. Yeah, Cynthia Lumis. Here's her bill to acquire 200,000 Bitcoin every year for 5 years, totaling 1 million Bitcoin. Game theory is about to heat up. No doubt that's trending on Twitter. That essentially means I got to buy it before someone else buys it. I got to make a decision based on what I think someone else is going to do. I mean, it's right here. It's in print. This is like out there. This is written. It's not some like made up thing. Okay. US to buy. No one is bullish enough. As you can see, Cynthia from Montana is going to be having a great time running around with this, getting famous. The Chinese media is reporting the Orange Man plans to have the U.S. world's crypto capital and establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The Chinese are reporting this as news, and we're all sitting around wondering whether or not we should buy Bitcoin at 76K. I mean, I have this really, really sick feeling that the least bullish people on the planet right now are the crypto bros, because they have sticker shock. Everybody else, like, all the middle-aged people in business suits, they're like, oh yeah, man, let's FOMO in. Let's do it. Where's Cynthia in her suit? Oh, can't believe I lost it. How could I have lost it? You know what I'm saying? If you have middle-aged boomers like me going, yeah, let's go, right? These people have a lot of money. They have a lot of money, especially when you consider about people under management. And God forbid you see somebody like Nancy Pelosi, the human hedge fund, start buying Bitcoin, right? It could happen. It can absolutely happen, okay? Okay, according to this individual, Bitcoin will hit 100,000 52 to 58 days after the U.S. election. I'm happy to say I told CoinDesk that Bitcoin was going to hit 100K at the end of the year in April, and the individual almost fell out of her chair. Almost fell out of her chair. Bitcoin open interest tops the chart after hitting a sweet spot. Bitcoin open interest means open positions in futures contracts, meaning people just getting long and long and long. Okay. Ethereum spot ETF, biggest inflow since September. Ethereum set for monster rally. Binance blog, why Ethereum price could go to 3,600. They're looking at the same chart I have. DeFi bullishness is back. Every single DeFi coin is up massively. I mean, it's hard to find a quality, hot DeFi project that's not moving in 10 to 15% increments. I mean, DeFi is 4 to 5 years old. These teams, these products, these blockchains, it's all battle tested. It's all battle tested. Like DeFi was a revolution 4 years ago. Now it's a practical application. This is going to happen. Just, it used to be, well, we got to get outside the system. That may be true. It may be. But now people just want something new. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't get any better than this. That's like the whole theme of all this news, right? Right? I mean, it just keeps coming in. The Eagle King is just like feeding it to me right now. This is like breaking news. Detroit, Michigan becomes the largest city to accept Bitcoin for tax payments, right? Because Detroit has got, they've got some problems. They're like, hey, man, how can we get this stuff on our books? Crypto stocks. I am happy to say that everybody who was in my Patreon, like there's a guy, I swear, I'm going to get this guy out of his day job with these crypto equities. Where is the U.S. government going to get all this Bitcoin from? I know you're sick of hearing me saying it, but no one's traded. They're starting to do it now because crypto equities are going up 10 to 15% a day. They're going up 10 to 15% a day. I mean, a Bitcoin miner is a Bitcoin farm. I heard all this nonsense. Oh, the fundamentals of this are terrible. Hedge funds are getting short. The valuation isn't justified. Oh my God, shut up. Where is everybody going to get all this Bitcoin from? They're going to have to take the companies over, or they're going to have an exclusive arrangement for the company to take the Bitcoin that they produce at a premium. The bottom line is get it on our books. Just get it on our books. I mean, it helps back paper assets. Governments, MicroStrategy, they're not price sensitive. I mean, who's scared today is Michael Saylor. He's waiting for his money to come in thinking he's got some time. I got news for you. He doesn't have time. Michael might wind up paying 100. Some of these guys may wind up having to pay 100 because I'm telling you, in legacy, they're going to look at anything under the psychological number of 100 and go, okay, just get in. Just do it. It's a good old-fashioned American fireworks show. MicroStrategy is a Bitcoin treasury company backed by Bitcoin reserves. But, the company's overvalued and you should short the stock, and it's a D rating, according to Charles Schwab, all of whose customers are going to FOMO into that Bitcoin ETF like you don't know. They're going to break the internet FOMOing into that thing. Okay, so MOG hits $1 billion. Good for the guys at MOG. Love the sunglasses. I liked that a long time ago. My partner, Toby, was very into MOG, PopCat, and I think pajamas back in the day, back earlier this year. $1 billion market cap. Congratulations to anybody who hodled it. Solana, the Solana ETF is back. So might the XRP ETF, if that guy wasn't such a dummy and, endorsed the wrong person out of fear. But Solana and XRP could wake up because different and new forms of money are here in town to stay. Okay. There's a new meta, squirrels, trending on Phantom, right? Peanut is in the house. Okay. The Hauk Tuah Girl now has a wallet address that everyone knows about and is getting airdropped everything. If I could only do the same thing on social media, you know what I mean? It's like you can now buy crypto in Phantom with Venmo. You getting this idea that Gen Z is going to want to get and FOMO into Phantom with Venmo? Can you imagine? I mean, you thought it was a meme coin super cycle. I've wanted to show Solana to my daughter and say, hey, what do you think is cute? This is not going to stop. It is not going to stop. If anything, if you find the right memes on ETH and I got my eye on something that, I can't get over it. I don't own it because I don't want it to be like, hey, you're pumping this on the air. But God, this is the Michael Saylor meme coin. Basically, my MSTR 2100. If they can take SPX 6900, I don't know, man. This thing could just go. mean, if you have 100K Bitcoin, where's this meme coin? I mean, DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency meme coin, which my chart is currently not cooperating on, is trading at 100 million. Just in case you think Elon's kidding, because he's not. None of these guys are kidding. Ron Paul, Bernie, they're all coming. I'm telling you, they're coming. Okay. Let's see who's here. Let's see if we manage to pull some new people in here. Welcome some members. Dietz, I live in Detroit. Good news. Special love to our friends in Michigan, Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina. Hats off to you. Okay, Ron with the green button. The green button. Gian is here. Renee, hello. Hi, Bill. Tap on the shoulders to all to be here living in the new era. All-time high live. Right on. Quiet Dawn. Yeah, man. The other side should have taken RFK. Big mistake. But now, you know what? Somebody said it. The Orange Man had won in 2020. He would have been facing a hostile Congress. And now they got a mandate. That you don't have to like this guy, but game theory in Bitcoin is here, and you may like him better. You may start to like him. You may like him before he takes office because they're going to trade all this right now. Indie Rock Crypto is here. Welcome. Right? The chosen one banging away on the banana emoji. The banana emoji, right? Spotter Inc. feeling the high from the all-time high. Okay. Do I have any low cap DeFi projects I like? Yes, that is in the VIP member area. Let's see. What can I give you? Okay, well, I mean, on the less exciting side, I mean, not like smoking, but like we looked at Kava yesterday. That's actually an old project. And then I think there's the derivatives project that I can't control myself, and that's Ribbon. Now, I can give you that, but everything else, we called it the banana portfolio. And as it turned out, a lot of stuff that we think is going to go, bananas. It's just, dude, anything DeFi and RWA is just going to go totally ballistics. Fred thinks the Federal Reserve has not done a good job at its job. Okay, somebody's asking for an ETH price prediction. That is a perfect time to segue over because I don't want my PowerPoint friends to explode. So let's get over to PowerPoint and let's knock that out. And then we'll just do live TA till we can't do it anymore. How about that? Eagle King is like, oh, dude, don't do it to me. Okay, Bitcoin. So 13 top meant nothing. Nothing. When you have topping signals and premium zones and the market doesn't care, you're going to have an overshoot. Right now, it looks like Bitcoin could go up for like 4 days and could probably hit 80K easily. That's like the blow off top zone. So everyone is like, I can't pay 74. I can't pay 75. I can't pay 76. But at 80, it's much more attractive. People, member area, Patreon store. I mean, people, we are talking about peanuts, and I'm looking at the future of finance. Talking about the future of finance. It doesn't get any better than this. It doesn't. I've been looking at this for 5 years. Frankly, most of those years, you know, suffering to stay in the game. It doesn't get any better than this. Okay, let's talk about total market cap. So normally these charts don't matter, but now it does. Okay, you got a cup and handle on the total crypto market cap chart. And you're like, okay, that's nice. If you break out of the cup, out of the handle over here, you have 16% upside in total crypto market cap. Okay, that means total crypto market cap could easily take out 3 trillion. Easily. And still be below the premium zone. Now, if this thing acts like it did in 2021. In 2021, this thing went from 1.5 trillion to 3 trillion on a line. Took like 4 months. So you doubled total crypto market cap in 5 months on just printed money from COVID and venture capital. Pump it up, pump it up. This is completely different. So you telling me we can't take total crypto market cap from 2.5 to this Lux Algo trend line at 4 trillion? That's what you're telling me, right? It can't happen. They did it before on just like total stupidity and FOMO. Now, the nation of builders is here, and we're all sitting around looking at each other. Seriously, you can feel it. You're just looking at the tape. Everyone's like, gee, what should I do? Gee, should I get involved? Oh, gee, look, ETH's up 7%. That's nice. People, this is like, I'm talking about the whole market going. Like, the downside of memes is that we forgot about the rest of the market. We assumed that the rest of the market wasn't there. Now, the whole market isn't good. Every altcoin's not going to make it. But the altcoins that are hot, they're going to get hotter. They're just going to get hotter because they're in after things that they think work or are working, right? The market was always working on potential. Now, Gensler is history, and everybody is free to move about the cabin in DeFi. Are you telling me this thing can't go up at least 15%? I mean, that's not just Bitcoin. That's like Bitcoin up 10 and everything else up 30% just to get to 3 trillion. What's 1 trillion between friends? They can take this thing to 4 trillion. You know, you got 71 days until the inauguration day, and then you got 100 days after that. You got 171 days. What's 171 divided by 30? Boy, is that 5 months? 5 months to double total crypto market cap, and people are wondering whether or not they can pay 76, and they're sitting around looking at ETH going, gee, that's nice. How do you think it gets to 4 trillion? That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and you know what? Even though they voted for the wrong people, I bet XRP is going to be in there as well. Anything that acts as money, anything new and different. And again, it could also be Solana going wild. Gen Z is going to pick up their phone and push the button. So is my generation on Coinbase. I'm expecting a call from my brother any minute. He's a big, I mean, you know, he loves to sling it around. Okay. A lot of people are going to go into Coinbase and rebalance their portfolio and FOMO. Bitcoin dominance, right? This has been Bitcoin and memes. Bitcoin dominance has topped. Lux Algo is in saying altcoins are going to come back. Lux Algo is in with a good buy signal here on total crypto market cap. I mean, people, the writing is on the wall. Look at Total 2. Total 2 is crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. So we're saying that Web3 is still worth less than $1 trillion and has done nothing, has done absolutely nothing for 6 months. Nothing. So you can go 20% higher before Total 2 gets to any type of resistance. And frankly, I don't even think this type of resistance is going to matter. It can create a pause, but eventually the market is going to exit the range mentality. You can go 12% higher in Total 3, which means Solana, which is, you know, already breaking out this metric. There's support underneath it. Any altcoin that's worth anything, RWA, DeFi, GOAT. Okay. I mean, it kind of goes on and on, right? And no one's even talked about layer 1, SUI going top 5, SEI following, right? Anybody remember Avalanche and Phantom back in the fast DeFi days? I mean, people, this is happening. It's happening right now. Okay, Solana at its premium zone. Lux Algo comes in with the buy signal. Money flow nowhere's near excessive. Look at the excessive money flow back in July in Solana. So you had massive FOMO in Solana at 180. am marginally interested now. Marginally interested. You just woke up the United States. You woke up the sleeping crypto giant. Are you paying attention? Please pay attention, right? I know I'm not as popular as the Hauk Tuah Girl, but folks, if she's in and she's doing it, right, then hopefully you're in and you're doing it. YouTube member area, Patreon. Patreon is very underrated for what they get, right? And like I said, if you don't know what to do and you need some hodl stuff, you need to go in there and just, it's right there. I put it in right before the stream. You can get it as a member or you can get it in the store. Please get something going on here. Like if you got it to put in, don't be the person who says, I should have. There's no I should have. Solana can probably go to 219. Because you know, one thing about the Solana chart that's really important is that, you know, Solana's going to get to 200, and then people are going to go, should I buy Solana at 200? YouTube member, QR code. Okay. Quiet Dawn likes Patreon. Pal going full moon Lambo. Been screaming about that. Toby and I covered that in a podcast that's in the member area. Like when Solana gets to 200 and ETH gets to 4,000, what should I buy and when should I buy becomes more difficult, right? Everyone's like, I'm not early. Let's define early, redefine early. Everybody thinks early is you buy something at a $30 million market cap and then it goes to $1 billion the next day. So if you're not doing that, you're not early. This one, you could be early on a trend where major institutional FOMO drives the market, drives what's hot, especially into hedge fund year end. The people who need to buy this market are enormous. And if they start coming in all at once, you'll know. You'll know because you'll just wake up and everything will be up 20% and won't dip like yesterday or 2 days ago. Like just went up, it just sat there. Today, ETH goes up and just sits there because there's a massive bid underneath it. Solana, if Solana blows through 200 because it's going to be in an ETF, people are going to be inelastic about price. They're not going to care, right? You might care because you've been ingrained by this range. Exit this mentality. Solana, the trend just started, and the only resistance I can come up with on this system is at 220. You could have 6 to 7 days of raw emotion in Solana before you get a correction. Ken Johnson became a VIP member just now. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please join Ken. Okay, AERO. You know, I thought this might be take profits. Lux Algo, FOMO's in. This thing is leaving the whole cup and handle thing. There may be other DEXs that take off. You know, first I was kind of like, well, you know, maybe it's just going to be, I don't know, maybe it's just going to be AERO. And now I'm starting to wonder if every DEX can just take off. That maybe in order for a DEX to do better, you don't need to have just memes. Now the tech, and I think the way the economics works on this is unbelievable. But ask yourself this question. Is AERO a leadership coin? It was in March. And the question is, what follows? Well, the answer to that is everything that's in the YouTube premium area. I'm sorry, the YouTube membership area. God, that word hurts me on YouTube. Okay, IBIT, the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Okay, PJL, CETUS. Right on, man. Right on. I'm going to try to chart it. We're going to get to it. Okay, the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, you get like a 618 fib extension from the old high, $50. Anything below $50 in the Bitcoin ETF is going to be considered cheap. And you know what they're going to do? As soon as it gets to 50, what are they going to start talking about? They're going to start talking about 100, right? Because that's how it is in equities, right? This is the banana, the banana. The banana has started in the Bitcoin ETF and we're all sleeping. Minimum 3 weeks up based on this. Minimum on a weekly chart. Now, Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the BlackRock Ethereum ETF. Yes, it exists. Yes, it has done nothing. And check this out. This was the gap from the Black Monday crash, right? So remember, crypto did this huge thing with the yen carry trade where, you know, the speculative engine for the markets kind of had seized, right? And all risk assets tanked and it was a brutal crash in crypto. This gap hasn't been filled yet. So I'll talk about Web3, talk about institutions, talk about, you know, DeFi. How about we fill a gap? Gaps get filled. It's one of the first things I learned in TA from this guy who used to trade U.S. interest rate futures. Gaps get filled. That takes the Ethereum ETF from 20 to 23.5. Okay. That's what, 12, 13%? How about we do it all in one day? Hey, folks, we did it all in one day on the way down. Speed, magnitude, and direction. What goes down a certain way goes up the same way. What do you think is going to happen on Monday? Maybe I said this already, but I'm just going to keep right on going. You got the equity market closes in 7 minutes. They have 24 hours to get involved in the ETF. Okay. They got 24 hours to get involved in the coins in the member area. Then what happens on Monday? The crypto bros are going to moon it over the weekend. So they're going to have Monday, they're going to have Friday and Monday. And if they don't have it on Friday and they don't have it on Monday, they're not going to have the liquidity to get in. Name 3 things you take for granted. Clean water, the ability to move around, and liquidity. I don't think you have to worry about the first 2 anymore because Bobby's on the job. But what about liquidity? What happens if everybody hits the green button at the same time and it's like, sorry, we're out? Also, there's a signal on this DeMark work for Ethereum ETF. The next down move will probably be a 13 top. So even if it shoots way up and then dips, that dip will be the bottom, and then it's just going to continue. It doesn't get any better than this. They got to fill a gap here. They're going to have the flip of the negative emotion in a positive emotion. Now, to finally answer the question about an Ethereum price prediction, there is a quantitative moving average at 2,800, and there's no resistance to 3,500. So basically, it's 3,500 minimum. That's where the whole Black Monday trade started from. I think they can just do that all in one day. I mean, this has just done absolutely nothing. It's like it doesn't exist. ETH is the new internet. Institutions don't care about gas fees. And if there happens to be a meme coin on ETH that gets everybody excited, trust me, they'll pay $100 in gas to get involved. Now, maybe not with Solana, but all you need is 1 or 2 big exciting things on ETH, and it's gone. There's also a macro case for ETH, which, you know, I've talked about a lot. Institutions are going to look at this, particularly if Bitcoin takes out 80. It's just going to be this formula where everything just gets dragged higher following Bitcoin. And that is the market update. Okay. PJL, greetings from Reykjavik. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Yeah, no need to chart it, but DEXs on SUI are flying. Dude, there is nothing going to stop SUI. The weekly chart of that, forget about it. Just forget about it. Okay, PAL. Yeah, let's all have a lab. Oh, no, I have it up here. Look at this. I'm psychic. Do you look at this? I mean, okay, yeah, it's up a lot today. Let's look at a 3-day chart. We've talked about this before. Do you realize that even though it's up a lot, this still has 45% to go to get to an equilibrium zone? Most of these coins are below equilibrium. Some of them are at a discount zone. This is an AI bot marketplace. I guess we don't need that anymore. Premium zone, all-time high, 167% from current prices. Lux Algo FOMOing in with the strong buy signal. And you have the bullish downward sloping wedge, which is the soccer ball, football, or basketball fully inflated, pushed underwater, right? You push the basketball or the fully inflated ball underwater and you let go. It pops to the surface and then pops out. One of the ways you know you're in a ripping bull market is when really simple stuff works. Head and shoulders bottom. The bigger the base, the higher in the space. Another thing in the ETF for ETH. Downward sloping wedges. I mean, the basic stuff. Every bull market starts with stuff like that. The sooner you get it closer to those formations, like, you know, when Powell is at $1, it'll be like, gee, should I buy? That will be a difficult question, right? The market is telling you, and it's making it hard on you by going up in 15 to 20% increments in the stuff that should be, you know, that should be moving. Now, DGen is not moving today. I don't know. It looks like some strange thing where I don't know what's going on with this today. I don't know if they're selling the base memes to buy ETH. I don't know. That I can't say. I mean, but you may get, you know, you may get a dip to the bottom of this trend line in DGen, which is 0.00597. This X signal means you could get more corrective activity. So that's not what I had in mind for DGen. That's actually a really big move. But again, you know, when ETH starts going up, I don't know, man, weird things can happen inside the base universe. Okay. SEI. Okay. Continue to believe that this is a bullish structure, right? We talked about this last night. I mean, you have a diamond bottom and you have a head and shoulders bottom. I don't know how this could look any better. And you hit a Lux Algo trend line on these longer term charts. The equilibrium on the 2-day chart is at 61 cents. It's currently trading at 42 cents. I just cannot get negative. Okay. Alien base. Okay. So, you know, with these small coins and the intense FOMO, it's like the first FOMO up to the premium zone. I don't do that. Now it's backing off to equilibrium around 27 cents. You know, again, you know, people could be moving stuff around because ETH has started moving. Sometimes ETH, when it moves, can hurt small coins on ETH because obviously it's traded versus Ethereum. So if you get a 15% move in Ethereum and your coin is not moving in 15% increments, right? Then, you know, these small coins can move around. Equilibrium in alien base is at 25 cents. Farmer Sam Forrest just became a member, sir. We thank you. You've been a loyal viewer to the site. You have 50 US dollars in America. Now is the time. Bill, if we already have Lux Algo, can we add your indicator or is that a separate thing? I got the middle tier. Yes, if you have Lux Algo, you can get the Bill Noble indicator. I have to make the videos explaining all that, and then you will be able to get it. You can actually get it now, but you're not going to know what to do with it. So Lux Algo is definitely available. Please support Lux Algo because they support the channel. So the Bill Noble indicator is coming and related the video explaining what it is. I'll give it to you simple, right? Let me stop the share. So the Lux Algo Bill Noble indicator is going to give you a way to type in symbols. So it'll allow you to go to a 4-hour chart, and then it'll allow you to type in 10 signals to see if you have an Elliott wave, 5-wave top, or completed ABC correction. So if you have a 5-wave top, if it's a bullish 5-wave, and you get to the 5-wave, that's your signal that, hey, maybe it's time to wait for a correction. It's the same thing with these sort of sideways things that have A, B, C, and X, right? It's designed to sort of forecast where the trends will end. It's called Trend Finder. So when it's going up, we try to find where we should chill out. The same thing with going down, where we say, hey, this might be a buy. And then we have something where we can try to find when a correction is going to end. So we're trying to get some automation so you can type in 10 symbols at once and you can see, hey, are there any signals here today? Or when was the last signal? Was it 2 or 3 days ago? So you don't have to like scroll through 20 charts. It's nifty. They programmed it custom. Okay, GFI. Okay, so GFI broke a downtrend line. That's good. We've gone back on Lux Algo between buying and selling. Sharing the screen. Like I said, I wouldn't forget, and then I did. Okay, GFI, right? The equilibrium zone is at 119. This thing crashed, and no one knows why. No one knows why. Now, we stopped out of this. So, you know, that's just what we did. This was like the one loser that we had. I would say if this thing gets back above $2, then you can say it's over. That's all. I mean, there just may be a better play out there. Okay, ONDO. Everybody's afraid of the token unlock in January. You know, Lux Algo has got it back above a trend line. Oh my God, look at this. Look what they did to this thing, man. Look how they took it down below the trend line. They did get to this big support zone, and then they just gapped it the other way. I don't know, man. I know they got this token unlock coming up, but God, people were so excited about this. Equilibrium is $1, right? Top of this premium zone's at $1.50. It's just, I mean, it's hard to believe that no one is interested. Now, I'm probably getting shadow banned for doing it. I know there's a lot of miserable people in the Trump token. Okay. The good news is that, you know, you do have that the downside momentum may be ending and you are in the discount zone. I continue to believe that the only way this thing can, you know, go to its full potential is to get an exchange listing, right? I mean, they kind of owe him one, but it needs an exchange listing. I mean, it's just hard to believe that meme coin was the only thing Trump that did not go up. Somebody wants to look at SEI again. Just now getting the equilibrium on the daily chart and on the 2-day chart. I mean, it hasn't even fully reversed yet on Lux Algo, but it has hit this huge trend line and goes higher. I mean, even if you don't look at the head and shoulders bottom, this thing can go to 55 cents. And just keep in mind, this was a huge market leader on the way up last time. I mean, there's no redeeming value in this. I mean, like layer ones in internet infrastructure. Again, Elon said you are free to build. Now, he wasn't talking about layer ones, but what was he talking about? You're free to build. Hello, let's build. You know, they had Buildle, you know, for HODL in the bear market. I remember somebody saying, stop saying that. You know, build. Okay, grass token. Yes, grass token. Let's just say we discussed grass token with members yesterday. I don't know, man. You going to stop this thing? I mean, there is a 5-wave top. This is an 89-minute chart. There is a case to take the money here. There's bearish divergence. Okay. You know, my attitude about this is it may be okay to take the money, but what happens if this thing blows through the premium zone? Like, you know, pre-November 5th, I was like, you know, take the money. You know, that worked in Alien Base, right? You know, got the premium, you take the money. This thing, I don't know. You may correct, you may wait, perhaps, but you know, when something like this AI marketplace or own a piece of AI, you know, I don't know if these things are just nothing more than AI meme coins, but the market's going to tell you, right? I think NEAR could be next. I mean, this is the hot coin. Follow the hot coins. If you get a dip in this, which you might, take advantage of the dip. That's how I would do it. I don't know that I would FOMO in right now unless it breaks out. You most likely, you got people taking profits, but this is an example of what can happen. I know somebody was looking at CETUS. This was in our portfolio. This is a perfect example of what happens when you have a head and shoulders bottom with an inverted neckline, right? You break out, it never looks back, and it absolutely moons. It goes all the way up to the premium zone. Like insane. Insane. Like, who is going to stop these new coins when they come out? Like this is probably take some money and rotate it somewhere else. This is what can happen to the entire market. This can happen to the entire market. 0x0. AI and privacy, as I understand it. Absolutely no bid, dead, not going to happen. Luxalgo comes in supporting underneath the market and everybody gave up. I mean, folks, you have no idea what can happen in this market. Okay. Mughal says, can I please tell you about ETH? Yes. Okay. Okay. So to answer the question, Ethereum is a major layer one. Ethereum frequently leads moves in altcoins. Okay. Ethereum has not been able to get above 2,800 for the entire summer. ETH was at 2,800 back in December of last year. ETH was unchanged for the year before November 5th. If ETH takes out 2,800, it goes to 3,500. Mic drop. That's it. That's it. And they can follow Bitcoin and they both can go at the same time. You know, Bitcoin could go up 10% and ETH could go up 25%. You can have 25% moves in one day. You absolutely can. Have I ever looked into TAP protocol? I have not, or maybe I have. Okay, I can pull it up here. Okay, so again, something that takes off for its premium zone and then comes off, right? And when it comes off near its equilibrium zone, if this thing turns around and takes out resistance at 867, again, as soon as anything turns around, you get interested. Okay, member request on NEAR, the home of DeFi dApps on Bitcoin. I know I've seen this before. If Toby found it, I don't know. The most programmable layer one on Bitcoin. Yeah, people, DeFi on Bitcoin has not been traded yet. So they're giving you a dip. Take it, right? I mean, let's do some basic fib math on this. I don't know. It didn't get to the 62% retracement. Okay. It did if you draw it that way. So if you look at the dip after it came out on KuCoin, $6.97. I mean, right now it's not doing anything, but that doesn't mean that you can't get after it. I mean, if it goes from 2 to 12 and then pulls back to 7, somewhere in here, it should hold. Maybe it's 668. I mean, I'm willing to take a shot at literally just about anything. I mean, everything's not going to make it. I can't believe that there's no bid in NEAR, especially since this is in a grayscale ETF product, but this could just be part of the denial trade. I mean, NEAR just had a Luxol buy. NEAR was near the discount zone before November 5th. I don't know why everyone's giving up on this. I don't. Unless it's over-owned or it doesn't, or nobody wants to build on it. But then again, Elon just told you to go build. Okay. There's a lot of resistance at $4.50. $6 is equilibrium. Why is everybody bearish? Why? Or actually, why is everybody hesitating? Why is everybody hesitating? Right? Okay, so this is OLAS. I think the thing about this type of chart is that if you look at how this went down, so this is a 2-day chart, just starting to give you an idea of what can happen kind of on a long-term basis. I mean, it's coming off today, but there's support underneath the market at $1.89. This X means you can have more upside. I think this thing could go to $4 if the whole market goes bananas, for the simple reason that it went straight down and then you have this rounded formation. I mean, I know you can't buy everything and everything is not going to go up at the same time necessarily, but that day could be coming. And I can see how people would hesitate. Like, look, everyone's selling today, right? Everyone's like, okay, I want to take my money. Okay. I mean, that's been the protocol. That's been what works, right? It gets to resistance and you get out. Okay. Well, I don't know that that's the program going on. And if this thing exits this rounding bottom, I don't know, man. I just don't want to get in the way. Near TVL dropped. PJL reminding you to smash the like button, right? I mean, folks, I don't think sitting around and waiting. So as a conclusion, let's talk about the guy that I talked to in the barbecue joint. So I'm doing short videos and the guy says, are you on the institutional side of crypto or the retail side? I said both. He's like, me and my friends are working with people, firms in Austin that have $1 billion under management. He's like, what percent do you think they have allocated to Bitcoin right now? And I was like, 1%. 1%. Probably like gold. 5% at most. And I told him about this asset allocation model created by this guy I used to work with, that the new asset allocation model is going to be 50% stocks, 20% Bitcoin, and, the rest is miscellaneous bonds or whatever floats your boat. But 50 equities, 20 Bitcoin. 70% of your portfolio is stocks and Bitcoin. And the guy just sat there and looks at me. Then he asked me, like, what backs Bitcoin? And I explained to him, as like, 1, you can't print it. 2, there is like a computer science difficulty in creating it, that, you don't just pop it out like you plant a new flower in the spring. It does not work that way. It's hard to create. And there's the demand for beta, which is a good way to wind up the stream. In other words, if you're Gen Z, if you need a currency hedge, if you need to figure out how to make money, what are you going to do? Right? You got to get in something that can move. So the beta, which is a finance term for how fast it can go, can drive demand. Again, a form of money that you can't print. And then there's this idea that somebody brought up about all the things you can build on it. We have more layer 2s for ETH than you can count. Most of them could be useless. We have no layer 2s for Bitcoin. We have no layer 1s for Bitcoin that anybody has priced in. Okay. Additional requests coming in now. Okay. Theta, RUNE. All right. So we were done with live TA and now we're not. Members get priority on comments. So become a member, become a VIP member, get the coins you need. Goodness, I'm looking for the screen. There's the screen. Boom. Okay. Become a member today. If you were going out to dinner this weekend, perhaps you could skip that and study crypto. And if you get this right, you can go on vacation with normal coins. You don't have to do, the meme coin thing. Although, I am tempted to do Notorious coin. And I actually think Toby coin would be bigger. Theta. I'm not sure how you want to draw this. Okay. Luxalgo came in and buying it yesterday. Every time Luxalgo has bought it, it has not worked out. It can go up 70% to its equilibrium zone. Again, everyone has given up here. They packed it in. When they packed it in, that's when you get in. The whole market looks like this. This is why the market is fooled. That's why everyone's sitting around thinking that they don't have to do anything. Okay, I have no idea why RUNE went down 15% the other day. It's come back to resistance. I just cannot get negative on cross-chain. Do you understand what can happen in cross-chain if ETH and Solana both take off? That was the whole premise behind cross-chain back. RUNE is cross-chain DeFi. PNG is cross-chain DeFi. Now, I don't want to give it all away, but I mean, we have a cross-chain layer 2 portfolio grouping inside the membership area. I mean, this thing was at 11 and now it's at 6 and no one seems to want it. Money started coming in on a longer term chart after everybody exited. Everybody exited. Now, Clearpool, which is still moving. Okay. So everybody got caught long OHM, right? And ONDO. And Clearpool just won't stop. Okay. I think Clearpool may have gone through its premium zone. Nope, it just got to its premium zone. So, but Clearpool is blowing through resistance, up 15%. This real world asset stuff, realistically, this is the head and shoulders bottom and it's at the upside target. So, I mean, I think you can hodl stuff like this, but it may come off. You may have gotten the gratification that you're getting in the short term. Okay. But, I think when it comes to stuff like alien base and trading stuff, you take profits, you buy dips. With stuff like this, where it's a freight train and on a 2-day chart, everything is going to take out its March high. When you go to the member area or you go to Patreon and you see what I put in there and you say, okay, everything in here is going to take out its March high. So if you look at a longer term chart, like a 2-day chart, this is balanced. Clearpool was here back in June. Nothing has really happened here. Nothing. It just unwound the summer. So it can double again, probably. Okay, Arweave. Okay, so what was Arweave doing yesterday? Nothing. Nothing. You just wake up and these things start moving. There's Arweave. I was actually thinking about, is Algorand ever going to wake up? you know, some of this stuff is going to wake up and go. Now, there's a lot of resistance in our weave here. Lux Algo, you know, came in with a really decent buy zone at the discount zone. So, I mean, if I'm long our weave, I think I'm leaving it. And if it breaks out and you want to buy more, I think this is a buy breakouts market, not investment advice, right? Okay. Where is the cross-chain portfolio in Patreon? Okay. The cross-chain portfolio is not in Patreon. I think it's in the YouTube member area. Let me see if I put it in the store. I'm looking right now. Okay. Yeah. So let me share the screen here. So Patreon has a store, right? We have a couple of options for you. I've been screaming about this. So, you know, the HODL coins I threw in there. Okay. It's more expensive if you buy it on your phone. It's cheaper if you do it on a browser, on a laptop, or even on your phone. I believe this is cross-chain. These are the cross-chain picks. Okay. There's a whole store here of coins, whereas if you wanted to buy this stuff on an a la carte basis, you can, right? You know, the membership's $15. That gets you like the 6th Street Crypto podcast. Like, you know, all these stories and all this stuff about what total crypto market cap. I gave all of that stuff to the Patreon members 3 hours before I came on the market update, right? We want these guys to have, and we want these guys to feel good. You know, I know the stuff that I do, you know, some people are charging double. They're charging double, triple. I mean, yeah, I know they have a lot of value that they add in live trading and stuff like that, but we're essentially helping you focus on the what and the why. What are the coins? What are the sectors? And why should I do it? And when should I do it? The answer to that would be as soon as possible. As soon as possible. All right, people, I'm gassed out. Thank you, members. Come on in. Join us. Join us. We'll see you tomorrow.